So I want to try something new. I normally I post my stuff. I will do the things I do, but I want to try being more open and being more vulnerable and letting you guys into my process of just life and what goes on day to day. And this is where we're gonna start. You feel me? Man, I feel like the reason I'm doing this is because it could be of use to someone else, and to just kind of let you know, I'm human, you're human, and that things go real well, but at the same time things get hard. And I'll just opening up on that sense. Life has been really great, but at the same time really hard. But it's also the type of hard that I've been desiring my whole life. You know what I mean? Through my life, I always had a bunch of energy. I had a bunch of energy and ideas and things I wanted to channel through and bring into the world. Because ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to transform culture. And the reason it's always been that for me is just because I've grown up and experienced a lot of ill will, mistreatments, just bad behavior. And it's not even necessarily bad behavior that people really understand. And at the same time, I've just been through a lot of stuff, man. And you would never really know it by the way I portray or how I show up, because I didn't let the things that happened to me become me or exist solely in it. You know what I mean? I've chosen to do something with what's occurred because I know and I came to an understanding that I'm not the only one, and that I think a lot of stuff isn't really just about me and my story, but it's just systemic, and it's pattern cycles that repeat because of those kind of ills that hurt us all. You know what I mean? For better or for worse, and not understanding it. But through my life, I've always kind of been chronically misunderstood, not really seen, and kind of assumed for who I am rather than ever really being known of who I am. And with that, it taught me for a while that I wasn't here to be understood, but to provide understanding. I wasn't here to be made feel safe, but to make others feel safe and create a safe space. And so it was something that influenced so many of the different moves and experiences. It influenced me in the service that I did in college. It influenced me in my research and the subjects that I chose. It influenced me in my clubs and organizations before I was in college and high school, and even the way I showed up in the world. And all I ever wanted to do was really help and be able to do my part. And I never really understood how I was going to do my part in a real sense, right? Because the thing is, for me, it's always been the arts. It's always been providing perspective. It's always been sharing my stories, and being able to open the door for vulnerability. That always made me understand yo, I gotta be doing this. People need this more of, right? But all I've kind of been surrounded by in my life is really stiffness and almost the appearance of support, not the genuinity of support. You know what I mean? And so now I'm getting into this point in my life, and it's wild because it's beautiful, but at the same time tragic, because it's shown me the experiences that I've been through and the spaces I've been in, and how and which ways I allowed myself to be in those spaces and be hurt, and at the same time want to be loved and wanting acceptance so much. But at the same time, it's so beautiful because it's shown me that I've grown so much since I was young to now, to understand that to not look for things in the wrong places, and that I have so much more power than I really ever knew. And at the same time, how that has influenced my decisions and the things I do. I'm doing everything that I wanted to do now, which is crazy to say, and I'm only setting myself up to do more of that. But why is that? Because like I realized I could, I would say, not too long ago, like a few years back. And when I wanted to make the transformation in my life, it was really like realizing that how can I help other people with their transformations in their life without really making the transformation in my own life? You know what I mean? And no one else would have told you that like, I wasn't making the transformation, I wasn't changing, I wasn't like at that time, but like I would have. And honestly, like no one really could tell you that because they would have to see that they would be able to change within themselves in order to recognize that within them. You know what I mean? And so now I've been really working out and stretching out these ideas, like musically. I'm working out these projects. I got Sonder that's out on my website that is on attached to this, right? But like that was the project that really like helped me learn how to be vulnerable and like let go of my voice more so to sing and like express that like the gravity more. And it was like abstractly and literally speaking about so many topics and concepts throughout the whole project, but then at the same time allowing me to like free myself in that sense from like the experiences I was having, especially when like I was first starting out music until like that time. Well, until now really, because it's still ongoing. But yeah, that's been out. We're working out some projects with friends. Like me and my homie Cash have been really working on a great project together that touches on a lot of important matters. And like I think a lot of the times people think music is just music, but it's just like no, music is a story. It's experiences that are shaped into words and instrumentals and into something more digestible than like the 3 hours it might take for me to talk about something. Not even 3 hours, like. But anyway, I'm getting not off topic, but I guess still on topic, but off topic, just letting you in more. Um, I've been really working out music and more business and mentorship, and just all the ideas I want to do, and it's crazy. The kid in me is so happy because he gets to live it through. And like when I was younger, there were so many things I always wanted to do. I had this bucket list, like ideas. I had this. Through my life, I've always done lists. There was never like one career I wanted to do or one thing I wanted to do. I just wanted to serve my purpose through whatever like modes that I had to. And to be able to have that now and like be able to recognize that like there is no limit to it other than the ones I place and the ones I allow others to place on me, like really has helped me like blossom and fly like a butterfly. Like a lot of people always tell me like, oh, you gotta focus on one thing at a time and like for me in my brain and how I operate, it helps me out to like really be like doing everything else and doing all the things I want to be doing because they feed each other like inspiration, but not in like a human centipede way, but like it's like okay, it kind of lets me live my life like a bee. I get to like go and pollinate this flower, then I get to go pollinate that flower, then I get to pollinate this flower, then I get to pollinate that flower, and like it lets me like really exercise my creativity in that way, and at the same time like my expression of self and the purposes that I have to give. And so when they say focus on one thing, it's not about focusing on one thing. It's just doing what feels right, moving with the inspired action, and following through with that in the moments you're doing so. Right? It's less about like, for me at least, that helps me stay in a flow that's more centered in my heart than to like be forcing myself to do this one thing. Whenever I'm just focused on one thing, it just makes it feel like work. Like when everything should be more like play. Like nothing should really feel that hard. It's usually hard because we're making it harder. You know what I mean? Like at the same time, sometimes things do need to be hard. All this go to say, the goal of this video is just to like open up and just share more of my perspective, let you in on where I'd be at, like thoughts, feelings, emotions, livelihood. I'm gonna be doing more of this stuff, and just updating, keeping posted. Expect more videos like this, some more live streams, and otherwise updates. Sonder is available on the site that is in my bio. Check it out. I actually haven't announced it out yet, so if you're seeing this, then you get a special peek. And I mean, outside of that, I have some more updates to let you know, and we're doing things. Keep it up and stuck. You know what I'm saying? If you ever need a shot of coffee, that's what I'm here for. If that helps you keep going. If you ever need a safe space, that's what I'm here for. I hope that with the creations that I have and that I create, that I can provide that for you, and for you to know that I'm here in the capacities that I can be, and that you have a purpose that's bigger than you, but don't shrink it because of the surroundings that you've lived in and have always known. You're bigger than you'll know, and you're bigger than you ever realize. And I learned that because I didn't even realize. Keep it up. Peace.